Real quick before the video starts, I have a new channel based around green text stories on 4chan, and I'll be uploading videos daily over there. If you're interested, I'll leave a link to the channel in the description. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Iowa Bird in the relationship advice subreddit. The post is titled, "My boyfriend won't let me end the relationship. How do I get out of this? My boyfriend James refuses to let me end the relationship." We have been together for a little over a year and have been living together since November. Before we moved in together, things were good. We lived in different areas, so most of our time together was on weekends. We got along well, talked often by phone and text, did things together, met each other's families, and so on. If any issues arose, we talked about them and worked them out. That is why we decided to move in together. That is when things changed. After moving in together, he started becoming more and more clingy. Wanting to spend every available minute together, he started staying home a lot. I work from home. Suddenly, we were constantly together. It started to become an issue, but when I tried to talk to him about it, it was my fault he was being that way. I was not giving him quality time because being in the same room with someone is not being together, just occupying the same space. So I made it a point to give him one-on-one time without distractions daily. It got worse. He started throwing tantrums. We would get invited to go somewhere, and last minute he would decide he did not want to go but say it was fine if I did. I would not be gone for 30 minutes when he would start texting me, and he would text non-stop the whole time. If I stopped answering, I would get messages saying things like, "I won't be here when you get back," or "You are not going to like what you find when you do get back." Then, when I did get back, it did not matter if I came back right away or hours later, he would be crying and telling me how neglectful and dismissive I was of his feelings. At first, I listened and apologized and tried to be more mindful, but then his insecurity started. He started questioning if there was someone else. He said it was his insecurities, nothing I was doing, but it is better to voice them and have my reassurance than to just let it fester. That makes sense the first time, maybe the second time, but not the 15th time. We started arguing because when exactly do I have time for someone else? We are never apart for more than 10 minutes. It just got worse. He started arguments over nothing. Nothing would be going on, nothing would happen, and he would just come into the room yelling. He has read my journals. He either goes through my phone or has installed spyware on it. He questions me about things I have written in the journal or in text messages, then tries to lie and say that he read it over my shoulder. This week has been the worst yet. We were out for dinner and he decided it was the appropriate time to discuss things in our relationship in a very public and intimate dinner setting. We had been having a good day. No arguing, both enjoying the day, laughing, not 5 minutes before this. I was immediately uncomfortable and very much on guard. I do not like airing my dirty laundry and he knows this. He insisted on talking about it right then. I said it was not the place or time. He did not stop. I was not engaging. After a few minutes of this, he decided we needed to leave because my demeanor was making him look bad. Everyone could see something was wrong and it was making him look bad. We got up and left without eating a meal we had already paid for. On the way home, I started to quietly cry and he started yelling. He was driving erratically and too fast. I told him to slow down. He slammed on the brakes from 77 miles per hour to a full stop in the middle of the interstate twice. We are lucky we did not cause an accident and hurt other people. He would not let me out. This went on the whole 2-hour ride home. I ended it that night and told him it was over. I was not doing this anymore. That car ride was the last straw. He refuses to leave. He says if I want him out, I will have to evict him. He begs, he cries, he takes my keys so I cannot leave, and he threatens to kill himself. I do not want to go to my aunt's because she does not need the drama. I have no other family close. I have nowhere else to go. I can start the eviction process, but that takes a month or longer. He just keeps saying he can get better. I do not care if he can. I do not know what to do. Am I really going to have to deal with this until I can evict him? The police here will not do anything because he has not physically assaulted me. I tried a civil no contact order. The judge said the same thing. I called a lawyer and it was the same response. Until he physically assaults me, there is nothing they can do to help me. How do I handle this? Edit, for clarification, I have been married once before. He was abusive and was sleeping with his first wife behind my back. Once my divorce was final in 2014, he remarried his first wife. She died less than a year later under mysterious circumstances. 2 years after the divorce, he died of a massive heart attack. He has a son that I raised for years who is now 17. My boyfriend died in 2017. He fell asleep while driving home from work on the graveyard shift, crossed the center line, and hit a semi-truck head on. The steering column was pushed into his chest, broke his ribs, and a rib punctured his heart. He was pronounced dead at the scene. He was a mile from home. The next one was in 2018. He cheated and was an alcoholic. We split up in October 2023. I met my current boyfriend in December 2023. I know that is not much time between the last two. Also, I am not questioning if I should get out of the relationship, just how to handle this until I can get him out of my house. I own my home, so there is no landlord to speak of. I have called the police, a lawyer, and my county judge, and all of them say that since he has not physically assaulted me, there is nothing they can do to help. 4 months later, OP gave us an update. It has been 4 months, and I thought I would post an update. I took some of the advice and filed for eviction 1 week after my original post. I switched bedrooms and placed locks on my bedroom and office doors. I tried to stay calm and not engage in arguments. I did my best to keep things smooth until the eviction. He was not having it. He would go from crying to talking calmly to yelling daily. The more I refused to engage, the more volatile and aggressive he became. If I did not respond to him within 5 minutes, whether by text or in person, I was ignoring him. It did not matter if I was working, driving, doing stuff around the house, or just sitting at home. It was exhausting, and I was just counting the days. Approximately 1 week before the eviction, he was sending me texts while sitting in the same room as me. I finally told him I was not going to answer another message. He sent 3 more long texts. I set my phone down and went to leave the room. He attacked me before I got to the doorway. He knocked me to the ground, slammed my head and arm against the floor, tried to force himself on me, and then headbutted me, which gave me 2 black eyes. After this, he took my phone, loaded his things into the car, and left. This happened on a Friday evening. My cousin and a friend came to stay with me for the weekend. That night, my friend found a hidden camera in my fireplace. I took pictures and disconnected it. We spent the rest of the weekend looking for others. We did not find any more, but did find a GPS tracker on my car. We also found that my basement door, which leads to the outside, had been tampered with. Additionally, my basement door leading into the house has a chain lock. Well, the bracket that is attached to the door frame had the screws clipped short and then pushed back into the frame so that it would hold, but with just a bit of pressure would not hold, making the chain lock useless. I documented and took pictures of it all. He continued to call and make threats all weekend. He said he went back to his hometown, but I do not think he did. I think he sat in his car watching my house all weekend. The following Monday, I filed a no contact order through the courts. That same day, he was arrested on his way back to his hometown on unrelated charges. I was granted the no contact order. He is still in jail. The last couple of months have been a struggle for me emotionally. I did not realize how much of a toll all this had taken on my mental health. I have been looking into therapy. It could not hurt at this point. My physical injuries have healed up with no permanent damage, just swelling and bruising. That is it. I have just been working on myself. He is still in jail and I am unsure when he will get out, but I will be notified when he is released. Thank you to everyone for all the advice. I really appreciate those who answered and gave advice. Miss Spider Monkey said, yeah, a protection order isn't even close to enough. Kish Bish said, and this is why, as avoidant as it sounds, I cut things off immediately the moment someone starts getting weird about doing things separately. In the first post, where she said she could not even go out with friends without receiving a string of insane texts, then drama when she gets home, that possessive, emotionally manipulative behavior always escalates. People like that make their insecurities your immediate problem. Run fast and run far the very first time you spot that behavior. I really hope OP is okay and is in therapy. What a nightmare. This next story was made in the AITA subreddit by a user named Velvet Chartreuse. The post is titled, I want to leave my wife after she gave birth to my child. My 34-year-old wife, who is 32, and I have been married for 7 years. After a miscarriage, she admitted to me that she had multiple affairs over the last 4 years of our marriage. Her last affair ended a year ago. She begged for us to go to therapy to work on our marriage, but I refused to go. During this time, I had moved out of the house. Occasionally, I would go back to take care of the house and animals, and she would constantly try to manipulate me into coming back. I had every intention of getting a divorce, but the process is slow. I hated the betrayal I felt, but I also missed my wife during the separation. One thing led to another, and we had sex, and she got pregnant again. Shortly after the news came, I had to leave for work about 12 hours away from her. She would call to give me updates about the pregnancy and talk about our marriage. We were separated for the majority of her pregnancy. I told her that I still wanted a divorce, but that I would consider reconciling after the baby was born. After several months away from her, I came to the realization that I could not trust her, nor could I forgive her for her infidelity. I feel like the last 7 years of my life have been a lie. While I was away from her, I met someone and a relationship blossomed between us. I truly feel like I love this woman. She has been made aware that I am still married and that I have a baby on the way. My wife is not aware of my new girlfriend. Fast forward to a month ago, I had to go home for the birth of our baby boy. My wife has been pressuring me to reconcile, but I told her that I plan to divorce her again. After the birth of our baby boy, she has been blaming me for ruining our family because I do not want to stay with her and try to fix our marriage. I want to have a co-parenting relationship with my wife, but she is acting very erratic while I am here for our son. Am I the asshole for wanting to leave my wife? Any advice on how to deal with this is appreciated. Edit, thank you all for the mixed reviews. It was expected. I will be talking with a lawyer and will update once I have a chance to talk to one. I appreciate the sound advice as well. Update. Thank you to everyone who did not think I was the asshole here. It has been a tough 2 years. Here is how it went down. I took a paternity test and my son is confirmed to be mine. I have filed for divorce, but the state in which I live is very conservative and has a waiting period before it can be finalized. The divorce was filed as uncontested, and I will be paying child support while also staying involved in his life. I am selling our house, and she is moving to a state nearby where my son will only be a couple of hours away. This option also makes her closer to family. Custody arrangements will be updated once she has moved. This has been emotionally hard because she has blamed me for ruining our chance as a family and our son's future. It feels manipulative since I no longer want to be with her, and I have taken care of her throughout our entire marriage. My wife still does not know about my girlfriend at the request of my girlfriend. As much as I want to integrate my girlfriend, this will take time to do, and I also feel that my wife does not have to know about her until everything has settled and the divorce is finalized. It has been difficult for me being away from my son, but I do get to see him every day. I was there for his birth and for 3 weeks afterward. I will be taking leave again to spend more time with my son, take care of the house, the divorce, and to help get her and my son moved. I am glad this marriage is ending, and while it is tough right now with my son, the mutual goal is to have a co-parenting relationship. Despite the things my wife has said and her desire to continue the marriage, I feel my son will be better off knowing what an actual loving relationship is. My girlfriend has been very supportive of me, and I am ready to move on with my life with her. Getting any help or legal advice in the state where we got married has been a nightmare and overall negative toward the choice I have already made. The marriage is over, but I will be in my son's life. I do not agree with the empty values there. Any advice on how to ensure a healthy co-parenting relationship without a lawyer is needed. Thank you all again. Update 2. My wife was served with divorce papers and hired a lawyer despite us agreeing on the 50-50 division of marital assets, child support, and limited alimony. She told me that because I was leaving her, she wanted to make sure things were done fairly. She advised me not to get my own lawyer since we had already agreed on the terms, but I got one to represent me anyway. I have recently seen my son again despite her efforts to keep me away from him. She has told me that she does not want to see me. After expressing how unfair that is, she agreed to coordinate with me so I could see him. I told her that I have been seeing someone, and she said that she suspected it during our separation, but that it did not matter. She does not care that I love my new partner. She believes we can still recover the marriage even though I have moved on. I do not understand how she thinks this after her cheating throughout our marriage and me finding someone new. I told her I am upset that she cannot take accountability for the breakdown of the marriage, for hurting me and for hurting our son. I explained why it would not be a good idea to stay together if she truly believes I cheated on her. She is only concerned with herself and the life I provided to her instead of caring about our son. She destroyed the last 7 years of my life with her actions and distorted how I saw myself. I tried to get over her infidelity the first time, thinking it was a mistake and something we could work through. I am not willing to give her a third or fourth chance. I want resolution, but every time the issue comes up, she says something that feels manipulative. Mandarin Slices said, "That poor child." JT Blake in NYC said, "Why would he be stupid enough to have unprotected sex with someone who cheated on him repeatedly?" This final story was made in the same subreddit by a user named NoAd. The post is titled, "I reported a crying baby to HR. I am second guessing my decision to report this to HR. There is a person in my building who brings her infant to work with her, and the baby cries, screams, and fusses as babies do. She does not close her office door, but leaves it open like an echo chamber resounding through the halls. It is incredibly difficult to focus on anything at all with a crying baby in your ear. Closing my door helps a bit, but we have a culture of leaving doors open to signal that you are available for an impromptu meeting. I leave mine open about half of the time. Today I decided that something has got to give. I do not know her, and we do not work in the same department. I work in an office with a lot of touchy personalities and egos, and I was not confident that I could simply ask her to close her door without setting off World War III, either with her individually or between our co-located departments. Instead, I sent a very nicely worded email to HR asking if someone could send her an anonymous request to please kindly keep her door closed while she has her baby with her. I assumed the woman has some kind of reasonable accommodation for having the baby at work, but now I am second guessing myself. What if she does not and is not supposed to have the baby with her? Did I just tell on her? I am feeling quite sheepish about it at the moment. Should I have tried to resolve this myself? HR has already responded with an emphatic good job in bringing this to HR, as this is a HR issue and not something to handle yourself, but I still feel like maybe I am the asshole here. Update. I really struggled with whether this was the right thing to do. I was thinking, what circumstances must a person be in that they think bringing their baby to work is the best option? I thought about coming back to HR to sort of cancel the complaint, but then she just kept bringing the crying baby in. It would be silent for a couple of hours, and then it would go off for an hour or 10 minutes or 40. You just never knew how long it would last or how frequently. Every 2 minutes, every 15, even an hour would pass, and then it would start up again. I noticed every time I walked past her office, she was engaged with the baby and not her work. I noticed she only comes in from about 9:30 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon and leaves for 1 to 2 hours in the middle of the day to walk the baby around outside. I noticed how shot my productivity is even with the door closed. I realized that I am getting paid to do a job out of taxpayers' money. We all are. And we are all underperforming because this one person is bringing their infant to work. HR took it very seriously, and even when I backpedaled, they said they are required to look into it when children are being brought to the campus. Today, they are nowhere to be heard. Her door is closed, and I got more done this morning than I had in 3 days last week on my project. I feel I did the right thing, and now that I have noticed her patterns, I think this person is unfairly taking advantage of their relatively unsupervised job in more ways than one. I will not be saying a thing about all that though. I am just glad the crying is gone. Glum Hamster said if she has permission to bring her child to work, she needs to close her door and get a sign that says she is available. There is no reason for her door to be open. Situation Sad said, my husband worked for a company that allowed occasional children on site if parents were in a genuine pinch. It was an open workspace, fully open with no walls. The waiting area could see the kitchen, which could see the desks, which could see the CEO sitting at their desk by the window. I left my baby with my husband a single time, sleeping in a pack and play, while I legitimately went 4 blocks away for a doctor's appointment. They hired a woman who brought her child on every single school holiday. They canceled the kid-friendly flex environment because she would derail the entire company in front of clients. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, GamerSupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.